Just your average everyday trucker, keeping it real. I'm your host, Chris Blodgett, and you're listening to Real Talk Tuesday. Today's topic is going to be whether it be business or personal, how we talk to or about others matters. This is episode 121. Hey guys, welcome back. As always, appreciate you being here. As with most episodes, literally when I get ready to record, I have an idea of what I want to talk about that week. But then I have to think for a little bit, like, all right, what would be a good way to, basically trying to come up with the specific topic. Even though I might know what I want to talk about, I have to actually think of how to actually label that. If you know what I mean. So that's always a challenge. I mean, not always, but sometimes it's like I can immediately think of something to describe the topic at hand. But sometimes I'm like, all right, I know I'm going to talk about such and such, but I don't know how to put that into a topic. So this week's Real Talk episode is definitely took me a little bit, basically just out here doing what I do and being like, all right, how do I put this into an actual topic so it's nice and clear, and people can know exactly what they're getting into for this topic for this week's episode. So the inspiration for this week's topic comes from I guess it's due to somebody that I know, somebody that's technically a friend. I don't know, I haven't really known her that long. I mean, I guess I've been connected with her on Facebook for a little while, but we've only started talking a little bit here and there a little while back. Because as you guys are familiar, I have been involved in digital marketing for not quite a year, probably about 8 months, since like last March. Let's see. So I guess about 10 months now, because I guess 9 months, because we're in December, so got about 3 months till it's been a year. But for those of you who aren't familiar with that, if you want to actually see what that's all about, go to blodgeshow.com/freedom. You'll come to a little capture page. You'll see my picture on there. Go ahead and put your email address in there and hit submit, and it'll take you to the next page. You'll get an email from me with some information, and plus the next page will have a video and kind of explain things. If you like what you hear, if you want to know more, continue continue on through, hit the continue on button under the video and check out the next page. There's at least 4 different programs that you can join. Each one that's a little bit more expensive. You get a little bit more with it, a little bit more content, a little bit more perks, whatever. The cheapest one is $100. That one basically just deals with social media. How to like be a digital marketer, social media, pretty basic. Next one up is the that one would be passive daily pay. Yeah, it's been a while since I've actually talked about it, so I had to be like, all right, let me see, make sure I'm giving you guys the correct info. So Launchpad is the $100 one, $300 passive daily pay blueprints, $600 one is the digital mastery course, and then the $900 top one is what we call the legacy builder. With each level that you go up, you actually get that one plus all the ones below it. So if you do like the $900 one, you basically have resale rights to all 4, and you basically get access to a growing community and a lot of people that have been successful, and there's people that are they refer to it as daily pay, because there's people that are being really successful with it and are actually making sales every day, either getting $100, $300, $600, and $900 sales every single day. So $900 a day is quite a chunk of change at the end of the year. Little disclaimer: I'm obviously not at that level yet, because maybe I've been doing it part time. I have done a few sales, of course, but anyway, yeah, like I said, if you guys want to check it out, go to blodgettshow.com/freedom, FREEDOM. But try to, all right, kind of got a little bit of a brain fart, like, all right, where was I going with that? So I've been doing that for not quite a year, like I said, about 9 months, and for the most part, the way I've approached that business, most businesses actually, because I'd rather, I have some things that I do that are passive and don't require me to actually recruit, build a team or anything. And digital marketing is one of those where technically, if you master it, you shouldn't have to basically get in people's inboxes and message them and be like, hey, can I interest you in like digital marketing? Like, I have a course. I've had people get in my inbox and actually pitch me about the legacy builder, and I'm like, I'm already in it. They're like, oh, okay, so you're not interested, sir? I'm like, no, because I'm already in it. I'm already doing that business. Oh, okay, well, if you want to check out the site, I'm like, you're not listening. Like, I'm already in it. There's no, I'm not going to be paying you $900. I'm already in it. I've already done it, I'm already a part of that community, all that stuff. So, ideally, when you're, you should be able to, do a couple videos daily, and maybe do a live, or, there's people that they even do faceless marketing, where they have videos they post, and where they're not showing their face. And people are actually succeeding doing that as well. And in the community, there's different training videos. They literally, you go through the training courses, it teaches you how to do that stuff. But occasionally, it's interesting to see how different people online actually will do, their marketing and stuff. This friend that's the inspiration for this week's topic, she has a different, from what I understand, and I don't know her that well, but I believe she does some e-commerce stuff, as well as she has a digital marketing course herself. It's one course. It's like $595 or something, or $597. Versus I've got the 4 courses. They're like $900, $600, $300, and $100. But, you know, I'd requested info on one of her, because I'd seen her posting quite a bit about, like getting paid every day is pretty awesome, you know, like, you know, I can teach you how to do it, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, well, I'm curious, because I'm always on the lookout and see there's, you know, because my end goal is to eventually retire myself out of the truck, you know, before I'm 65. But, so I was like, hey, you know, info, you know, on her post. And so she sent me the info, sent me a bunch of, like, looked like slideshow screenshots, kind of. And, you know, I looked at the website and stuff, and it looks pretty good. It actually looks a little more, probably about, I'd say a little more user-friendly than what we deal with the Legacy Builder and all the other courses. Which sometimes that could actually be a really good thing, because customers in general, if it's something a little more simpler, more simply laid out, that they can understand a little bit easier, they might be more willing to actually, like, invest and, like, buy into the program, you know. But so I'd requested info, and she reached out and gave me the info, and got a couple of deer standing right off the side of the line there. I was like, hey guys, stay off over there. So I checked out her stuff. It was alright, that's pretty cool, you know. It was like, obviously I can't afford it right now. I don't have the $600. Alright, well, I can do payment plans, blah blah blah. Okay, cool, you know. I was like, I'll definitely keep in touch with you, you know. And, you know, that was a little while back. And then every so often, you know, she'd reach out and, you know, talk to me or whatever. And of course, it's, hey, so, like, are you ready to jump in yet? You have the money for it? I'm like, nope, not yet. And, all right, you know, she was, because I know you work your butt off doing your trucking job, and you're always drinking cappuccinos at night, you know, and not getting much sleep. And so, like, obviously, like, you know, just need to, like, go all in and make a change and actually, like, change your life, make things easier for yourself and your family. And I'm like, yeah, I hear you. You know, I was like, that's what I'm working on, you know. And so, you know, every so often again, she would message me like, hey, like, I can discount it this much for you. Would you be able to come in for like $4.95 instead of $5.97? I'm like, I love that, but I don't have that available right now. And then, you know, and I told her, I was honest with her when we first started talking, kind of told her a little rundown of some of the things kind of going on in my life as far as finances and whatnot. So like, yeah, you know, like working on this, and like my trucking schedule keeps me pretty busy all the time, and you know, my end goal is to basically be home full time working from home. Told her how I have a podcast I'm doing. Got like some book manuscripts in the works. You know, obviously, like, as you guys are familiar, I told you guys, and if you're new to this podcast, yes, I know you might not see them on the current episodes, but usually, and eventually when I get back on track, there's two segments of this podcast. It'll be Real Talk Tuesdays and then Storytime Fridays, because I'm a writer, and so what I would end up doing is basically I'd write short stories, and then that would be the story for Friday's Storytime Friday episodes. So and eventually I'll get that back, you know, up and rolling, you know, up and running, and you know, be back on track with it and stuff. But especially with the peak schedule and me working 6 days, like, tonight I'm running until Monday morning, and then I'm off Monday night, and then back to work again Tuesday. So got that for another probably 2 weeks at least, possibly 3. I'm hoping 2 weeks, because that'll be right before Christmas, and then hopefully we won't be working quite as hard. We can actually take our 2 days off. So I'm just trying to keep it together, you know, not let the exhaustion, you know, affect me negatively. I try to get as much sleep as I can when I get home, and then I get up and come back in and do it again. But so, you know, I was upfront with her. I kind of told her, like, yeah, this is going on, that's going on. This is my goal. This is what I'm working towards. And basically, I told her I'm already in a digital marketing thing. But that I've been doing this since like March, and you know, I had like 2 sales, but otherwise I really hadn't done much. You're probably just doing it wrong. I can teach you what to do, and you know, all right, cool, you know. And you know, every so often again, when you know, touch base would be like, hey, do you have $300? Like, you know, I can bring you in for that, or we can pay make multiple payments or whatever. And you know, obviously, just need to get you out of your job because you know, I know you're working yourself to the bone, working yourself to death. I said, yeah, I hear you. I was like, no, not yet. I'm, you know, not able to. I don't have the money quite yet. And then she reached out a couple days ago, and you know, getting asked like, do you have $395? And I'm like, no, I don't. And then of course, then it was, well, I think we should just quit talking, because obviously, like, you're not in that position yet where you're willing to do what you have to do, what you need to do in order to actually like change your life or whatever. Like, you're still playing it safe and blah blah blah. And I was like, I hear you. And I was like, I don't think of it as playing safe. I think of it as priority, you know, being responsible and having priorities. Like, for instance, one of the things she would argue with me on or not argue with me, but you know, she would tell me on the message, well, 7 years ago when I got started with this, I used money that was supposed to be for bills, you know, and I got started, I went all in, and I made it happen. And here I am 7 years later, and I haven't worked a job. You know, home with my kids, blah blah blah. And I come back and they're like, yeah, I hear you. I was like, I've gone all in before. I was like, that's why I'm in the legacy builder program. You know, I paid $900 to join that, and I said I had really high hopes because within a couple days, I made my first 2 sales. I made my money back plus $100. But then I didn't. But then I have gotten leads since then. I've got like 505 leads on my email list that I've gotten through driving people to my website. So I mean, I was working the business and still technically kind of working the business. I'm kind of laid off a little bit from it, but I'm still active in it. It's still technically a business. That's why I talk about it with you guys here, because I figure eventually, as this podcast grows, I'll get, you know, there'll be traffic that'll get to that site, and people will check out my stuff, you know. But obviously, still a fairly small show. I think I have like, on average, I think a lot of my episodes I've noticed are like 5 or 6 downloads per week, which is cool. Hey, it's better than there's other podcasts that might have like, you know, that might have like no downloads for a while, then they'll get like 1 listener or whatever. But you know, I'm all about pushing forward and continuing to work towards goals, and I know that eventually it'll grow and things get better, you know. So that's why I'm here with you every week. I'm gonna keep at it and stuff, and make it happen, you know. But so she's basically, I think we need to stop talking because obviously, like, you're not there yet. Like, you're still playing it safe. You're not willing to do whatever you have to do to make it happen. And I told her little things like, well, I literally cannot dump half a paycheck into a program not knowing if it's going to be the same as what I'm already doing with Legacy Builder. Like, you know, if I can, because I told her, I said, I have at least close to 300 videos that are out there circulating, you know, and yet here I am, like, I've made 2 sales. Like, I can't dump 600 into another digital program and do what she tells me to do, and basically, like, months from now still be like, well, I haven't made shit. And of course, probably be getting the she would probably be telling me at that point would be like, well, you're just not doing it right, like, you know, like, obviously you're doing something wrong. Even though at that point I'd probably be like, I'm doing exactly what you're telling me to do. It's like my mentor with Legacy Builder, the lady I came in with a few months back. Actually, yeah, a couple months back, I kind of backed off from it a little bit, stopped doing videos every day. Figured, all right, I'm gonna back away a little bit. I've still got my site up, still got the videos out there. People can still find my site. I can still make sales technically without me having to really push it. she was like, I don't understand why you're not making sales because you're doing everything right. Like, you're doing everything you're supposed to do. You're doing the 3 short videos a day. You're going live every day. You're building your email list. I just don't understand why it's not happening. I'm like, you and me both. It's like, and so trying to explain that to this lady that wants me to join with her so she can teach me how to do it her way and actually supposedly be successful with it. I'm trying to tell her, look, it's not that I'm not, yeah, she can think of it as playing safe. I look at it as, hey, I've already technically been through this. It's not that I've never done business at all and anything else. I have done a lot of little things. Some of the things that, some things I'm still involved in that are passive that I make a little bit here, a little bit there, It's like, and so, but I was like, yeah, but you're right, like, we don't have to talk about this or whatever, like, just, I will message you whenever I'm ready to get started. Like, I'll get in touch with you, whatever. You don't have to check with me or whatever, because obviously I don't want you to, obviously, like, I'm a disappointment to you, blah, 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 I was like, you don't have to worry about messaging me, because I know I'm just basically probably going to tell you the same thing, and you're going to be like, well, you're still not ready to do what's necessary, blah, blah, blah. And so, but the funny thing is, part of what goes with today's topic is this lady, when I message her to say, hey, I'd like info on your digital marketing course, when she posts on her public wall, she basically bashes people in general, especially if they're people like me, for instance, to where we're like, yeah, like, I can't just dump 600 into a program without knowing if I can, pull it off, because I have to make sure, like, for me, I said, I'm married, I can't just, like, spend my entire check on a course in hopes that it'll pay off, unless, like, if I have, like, 500 or 600 that because, like, when I did the $900 legacy, technically, I had money that, the bills were paid, rent was paid, and I think I got a bonus. And so, like, literally, I put aside money for 2 weeks to cover that 900, and we still had the bills covered. We still got groceries. So we had things covered, and I had some money to work with. And I said, you know what? I'm gonna go all in. I'm gonna do it. And I went all in. Like, literally videos every day for like at least 6 months. And now I'm backed away from doing all the videos, but I left obviously my site's up there. I still have email lists. People can still find my site and basically sign up if they want. I wake up to hey, guess what? You got a $900 sale. Oh, cool. That's still a possibility because the site's still up there. I don't have to I'm not having to reach out and try to close people if I don't want to. Like, I can try to get sales that way, but I'm like, you know what? People have expressed interest in joining the program, and then of course they never did. And I figure, well, I don't want to be pushy and be like, hey, you remember you said you were gonna do it. I figure if they want to do it, they'll do it. If they don't, then they won't. That's how I look at the digital marketing stuff. Is that I don't want to be pushing you to join. I would rather somebody come in that wants to do it, that wants to. Yeah, you want to change life, but yeah, you want to take part in this kind of business and learn how to effectively do it. You can do digital marketing for anything. Any kind of service or whatever online that you want to offer, you can technically do digital marketing with it. It could be an affiliate thing that you want to market that opportunity, but you do it digital marketing way, where you post little videos and you drive them to a site, and then you just let the website work its magic. But I don't message the people on my lists that have expressed interest but haven't pulled the trigger. I don't message them or do a post about them, basically talking crap about them, like, well, obviously you guys don't want to change your life. Obviously you guys are freaking stupid, blah, blah, blah. I'm not like that, you know, because that's wrong, you know. You know what they say, the whole treat others the way you want to be treated, like talk to others. I mean, everybody deserves respect, and if people don't do what you think they should do, that doesn't mean that you're better than them. So the reason why I say that is because I'll see posts that this lady will post. Basically, she's blunt. She's very honest. She's, you know, like I don't understand. You guys work your jobs, and you know, you slave away your job and give time to someone else. You know, don't really. You get paid for the hours you give them, and blah blah blah. And it's like so stupid. Like you guys are losers, whatever. Like I don't understand. Like why do you make a change and actually do something for your family? Blah blah blah. And you know, I've commented on some of her posts. Like I was like, I really respect. You know how like blunt you are, that you're upfront, you're honest about your thoughts and opinions or whatever. Like, that's, in a way, I do find it's kind of refreshing to see somebody that's like, okay, you know, like I'm gonna tell you how it is, tell it how it is. I'm not gonna bullshit you, whatever. But on the flip side of that, it's one thing to be blunt and honest, but it's another thing to be flat out like rude, disrespectful, just because you think that other people aren't making the decisions that you think they should make. Like a lot of her, like hell, it's like there's not even about business. There's been other posts where I guess she and you end up having like a date with somebody and it doesn't go very well. So then you basically come online and you talk crap about that person. You know, could be anything like, oh my god, like that, like yeah, you know that date was horrible, and you have such a small, you know, like not very well endowed, and blah blah blah. You're such a loser, or whatever. It's like posting that on your Facebook wall. It's like really, but when it's like business, it's like oh you guys like blah blah blah. Just a bunch of negative, complaining about people and like, and I'm thinking of the back, and I told my bro Ricco about it. I'm like, I was like, it just kind of amazes me because I'm like, are you getting like, that? Well, one, I kind of wonder because like I think I have more friends on my Facebook profile than she does, and more followers. And yeah, she supposedly does sales every day. And she's done a couple screenshots and stuff showing like some, I think Stripe payments or whatever. But I have to wonder, there's a part of me here, here's something that goes through my head that I kind of mentioned to Ricco. I said, I kind of wonder if somebody is asking messaging people quite a bit, trying to get them like, hey, so you ready to come in yet? Are you ready to buy to purchase? But they talk about like I've been doing this for 7 years, and I haven't had to work a job, and I'm free, and I'm home with my kids. I'm like, but it makes me wonder because you're either messaging people, trying to get them to pull the trigger and buy the product, or you're posting on your wall about how people are stupid because they're not making the decision to actually join you and make the change and learn how to market online and all that stuff. And I'm like, if you're, it makes me wonder if somebody is talking like that, are they really doing the sales and making the money that they claim they are? Because like, I was telling Ricco, I was like, with me doing the Legacy Builder program, I said I had people, probably about, like I said, I had lots of people that had messaged me through email asking me questions about the program, like, hey, like, how's this work, or what about this, whatever. And I was answering the questions. They would come back like, thank you so much for answering all my questions. I really appreciate it. I'm like, no worries. Like, if you have any other questions, let me know. Otherwise, when you're ready to join, let's do it. And then I told Ricco, I said, and then I didn't reach back out to them necessarily. I basically was like, you know what, when they're ready, they'll get in contact with me. Now, could I push some of the people that, hey, what's the word? Are you ready to join? Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, I figure, you know what? That's not how, with that business, literally the way they teach us in the Legacy Builder program is you do all the stuff you got to do, and then, you drive people to your site, and your site has different videos on it, and kind of close it for you. So it's not supposed to be you talking to people directly, trying to get them to try to close the sale for them. You can, but it's especially if people are posting saying oh, look at this, I made another sale, hey, I made another sale, I did this, whatever. There's times where I wonder if somebody's being so vocal about it, screaming from the rooftops. I'm like, are they really making what they're claiming they're making? Because there's a lot of people online that do the fake it till you make it approach. They will post screenshots of other people's payment proof. And sadly, somebody like me, I'll struggle with getting people to actually buy whatever course I'm offering. Mainly because I'm not gonna basically post fake shit. I'm gonna actually, I'll let you know, hey, yeah, it's been a little while since I did a sale, but those 2 sales literally I woke up to. First week of doing the Legacy Builder program, I woke up to, you had a $900 sale, you had a $100 sale. Oh wow. So even though, yeah, it hasn't happened since, that's how the sales typically, that you wake up to a sale, you're like, oh my god, I just made $900. But I'm not gonna go online and lie in an attempt to get people to hey, he's making money, I'm gonna join. Because a lot of people will join people just because that person is saying they're making this much money. If I join them, I'll make that much money too. And then they join and they're upset months later because they paid all this money and they did what they're supposed to do and they didn't make any sales. It's like, that's the problem that with a lot of these online programs is people will tell you, hey, if you join me, you're gonna make this money, and then you join it, they tell you what to do, and you do it, you don't make any sales, and that the person you came in with basically said, well, it must be something you're doing, you must be doing something wrong. It's like, no, the person you joined probably had a huge ass following, and so they are able to get sales because they just post on their wall and based on people that will follow them. People will follow people from one opportunity to another just because, the promise of get rich quick. Hey, you join me, you'll make $1,000 in 2 days. And people will be, oh, okay, cool. Here's my money. 6 months later, what scam? Man, freaking scam me. That person will be like, hey, I have another thing. This is the sure thing right here. You can make $1,500 in a week. Oh, cool. All right, yeah, awesome. So it's like, but the thing with this lady that I know though, it's people aren't always going to be in the position to basically just dump $600 into a course or a program or an opportunity and hit the ground running. Because a lot of us, hell, my rent is $2,200. I have a technically, even though now I've got about a month left, I've got my truck payment for my Ram is $400 every 2 weeks. For the past year or so, year and a half, I've been paying $250 every week to pay that down quicker, which is why now I made my payment on Friday, and I get the email on Saturday with a little thank you for your payment, kind of the payment receipt, kind of. And it shows your current balance, what you have remaining. And so I'm down to $1,100. I'm like, that feels really awesome. Then I almost will have my truck paid off, and then I'll divert those funds to start paying down my wife's vehicle as rapidly as possible. So moving forward, always, paying off debts, getting rid of debts, working on the credit, working towards getting to eventually, sooner rather than later, hopefully, get us into a house. But keeping the rent and the electric taken care of, and the phone's active, and the car's paid for, and food on the table. I was explaining that to this lady that I know. Look, I just can't dump a huge amount. I could do smaller payments. towards something, but paying $500 or $600 all at once is a little bit something that I pause and I think about before I do it, because that's a lot of money, and that money could go towards, feeding the household. That money could go towards, paying down some of the debts, the car, getting rid of some more of the debts, so we have less debt holding, weighing us down. And also, I mentioned my marriage, that I don't want to get divorced because I've put large amounts into opportunities in the past, thinking that was gonna be the sure thing, and then all of a sudden we weren't able to cover rent because I didn't have the money, and we had to beg relatives and family members, hey, can you guys help us out, because we're struggling right now. We're only got half of rent right now. Thankfully, me and my wife work together pretty good as far as the finances go, especially with rent, and so we've been able to make sure that rent's covered every month without having to ask for help. And so it's trying to explain that to this lady. And still getting then of course, obviously you're not there yet, you're not willing to do what you have to do to make it happen, you're still playing it safe, try to use the example that I used bill money to get started, and I was risked, but I was in the hospital with my kid, I was having my kid, I was in labor, all 3 times, blah blah blah, you did not have your kids all at the exact same time. I don't think. I think they're all different ages. I don't think she had them all at once, but I don't know. Like I said, I don't know her that well. For the most part, seems like a nice person, except for when you see when she talks online, and when she and I messes back and forth, she was doing voice clips and telling me how you just need to you're killing yourself, and you need to just stop making excuses and actually do it. And then she messages and says my son thinks I'm being mean to you, but I'm not. It's not my intent. I'm being blunt, being honest. And I'm no, I hear you, But then she posts publicly on her wall, basically and some of it, when you read it, you know how it is. People will post stuff on their wall when they're bitching and complaining about other people, but they won't mention you specifically. But some of the things they mention, you're sounds like something we talked about. Now I don't know if it's about me specifically, but she's well, there's even people that are interested in working with me, but they can't because their partner doesn't think they would actually succeed at it and stuff. That's just pathetic and blah blah blah. And I'm thinking well, when we talked about me and my wife, I didn't say that she doesn't think I can do it. I said that mainly financially, when you're married, especially big purchases or big expenses like that, you want to make sure that you guys are both kind of on the same page. You can't just dump 600 into something and not, especially if it's going to affect your rent and food and stuff like that. You want to make sure that all the main stuff's covered. So it's interesting out here when it's 70, then I can run up on a guy that's going to 50. And I'm really? Why are we going 50? Get over to pass it, and the guy speeds up and gets up to speed 60-ish. And I'm oh, now you're going the speed limit. Okay. It's what the heck, man? I don't get it. You want to go slow until you're being passed, and then you want to speed up. But, so on her post, they're pretty, they're basically just, it's always complaining about people and talking crap about people, and say how people are that they're effing losers, blah blah blah, and then say how well, you guys said that you want me to basically, you want me to be me, and tell you how it is. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm being upfront with you, and I'm yeah, but you're, for lack of a better word, you gotta be the bitch. And I would call, I would be very hesitant to actually call anybody male or female. anybody to their face, or online, call them the B word or whatever. Try my best not to swear as much as possible. Keep it somewhat PG-13. But that's basically the thought that goes through my head is, wow, like, and I'm thinking, like, do you actually get people to join you, even though you either talk to them or talk about them online like this? Like, people join you just because, like, well, you're right, yeah, I'm a loser, I'm not making the right, let me just go ahead and join you because, like, this makes sense, I should do it. Whereas me, I'm like, when she's talking like that, I'm thinking, like, one of the things I almost want, like, I haven't told, because in my head I was kind of thinking earlier, like, all right, like, if I was chatting with her right now, I'd be like, you know what, technically, I actually have had the money to join, because I make decent money at my job, but I've hesitated. One, because of time, because, like, I don't want to pay that money and join, and with the way my schedule is right now, I don't know if I'd have the time to do what I gotta do what she tells me to do to supposedly succeed at it. But part of my hesitation is because of seeing how she talks about people online, and I'm like, again, like I said, I appreciate how honest and upfront she is, but at the same time, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. I'm like, well, you want me to work with you, but yet you're going online and basically saying how people are dumb for staying at their jobs and giving time to someone else, and blah blah blah. And it's like, if that's how you're trying to get people to join you by basically saying that they're stupid for staying where they're at, not going all in and using their bill money to join your program. The problem with doing things the way that she's recommending it, how she said, well, I use my bill money to join. Okay, let's say your rent is $2,000. Let's say you have $2,000 put aside, you're ready to pay rent, but okay. Well, she says I should put like $1,000 into this program to change my life, to make things happen. And so they, okay, like, oh, I'm gonna do it, I'll make the money back. She swears up that if I follow what she tells me to do, I'll make it back, so I'll be good. So you put $1,000 into that program, and you work that for a couple weeks, doing exactly what she tells you to do, and you come up on where rent's due and you haven't made a sale and you only have half the rent. You can't go to your complex and be like, hey, I can pay you half. Like, can you give me like 2 more weeks? Because most complexes, if you don't pay by like a certain date, like the 5th, you get a notice on the door saying like that you have probably till the 10th before they send your account off to the attorney to start the eviction process. Or let's say you use money for like it's meant for like your car payment, or your electric, important bills, because most of us don't live right next door to where we work. Most of us have to commute to our work, and so using money that's meant for paying those bills that and then all of a sudden you don't make you join the course, you join the program, it doesn't, you end up not making the money that they're swearing you're going to make. All of a sudden you lose power because you can't pay the bill, or and then you have to go beg the city for help or whatever to get it turned back on, or help ask for family, or you don't pay your car because you're trying to join this thing, and then your car gets repossessed. Or I had one, something that I am planning to do to being able to do sales, advertising and stuff from home without actually dealing with people directly. It's like basically one of those where they teach you what to do and how to do it. But it's not cheap to get into. And the guy that I talked to, that he was telling me, they basically go through all this video training, and they talk about getting involved with this group or whatever, and they but they have different levels that you can come in at, where you get more perks with the more expensive plans, the more expensive packages, but you can still come in at one of the lower level costing packages, and you're still going to be able to learn how to do it, still going to be able to be successful. But you know, when talking to this guy, and he's telling me, okay, well, yeah, these are the different levels of help of the coaching that you can get, and you know, do you have anything that you can put down? I was like, no, I don't, not at the moment. Well, do you have anything you can sell? Like, can you sell your car? You know, or sell your truck? And I'm like, at that point, I was like $2,000 left on my truck, which when I bought it, it was like close to 39,000 with taxes and fees. And I was down to like $2,000 left on my balance. And I was like, well, technically, yes, I could because my truck's worth like 15. But I said, but until I'm making money online and I'm in that point or in that position where I can, you know, basically not have to go anywhere to work. I can literally stay home full time. Until that point, I kind of need my vehicle to get myself to and from work to keep paying the current bills. You know, it's like it doesn't make sense. Like to me, I know we've owned vehicles in the past because they were like cheap vehicles that we paid like $2,000 for, and we drove them for a few years, and then we did a trade in, and basically ended up financing the vehicle that we were way overpaid for. But current vehicles, we actually me and my wife loves her Jeep. I love my 2018 Ram. You know, working on paying those off and having paid for vehicles. Like getting rid of debts and stuff like that, not just, hey, I mostly paid it off and then I'm just gonna turn around and sell it to invest in this thing, because then eventually I'm gonna need to buy another car. So it's like, why not hold on to that asset and pay it off, and then that way I have a paid for vehicle that I can, you know, use to get around, and not actually like, because you can use that for if you're doing business like locally, if you're selling stuff. Hey, you have a vehicle, you can transport stuff. You know, people, those different opportunities, like hell, like the lady I'm talking about, she even like after saying, okay, we just won't talk about it, whatever, and I was like, yeah, like I'll reach out to you if and when I get in the position to go ahead and do that investment. She was all right, cool. And then like 10 minutes later, all of a sudden she goes, why don't you sell some stuff? Like find some things that around the house that you don't need. Just go ahead and sell some stuff. And I literally said, LOL, I thought we weren't talking about this. So it's like, me and Ricco were kind of like, you know, if somebody's really making as much money as they're claiming, they won't necessarily be in your inbox trying to push for you to buy from them. Or he made a good point, they won't be offering you a payment plan, like give you a deal or whatever, because like if it's worth the money that they're trying to sell it for, then they won't offer you a discount because they won't need to, like that it's got good value in it and stuff like that. So I'll admit, I sit around and I kind of wonder if she's really making the money that she claims she is, and if she's really doing as well as she says she is. Because I look at her Facebook page and it's like there's not much on there, but yet she's supposedly getting sales every day, and it's like, are you though? Because usually people if they're making sales every day, they have a lot more followers, they're a lot more payment proof, a lot more, you know, it's like, it's not just them saying, hey, I made this much money today, blah, blah, blah. It's actually them showing a screenshot. Like when I got those 2 sales, I literally did a screenshot with a post of my payment. I said, hey, look, I just made $900. People are like, oh my God. Or the $100 sale a day later, they're like, oh wow, that's cool. And that won't pay. I want info, and I'd send them my site. But you know, I treat people like, even future prospects, people that are wanting information, I still treat them respectfully. I don't go online and like, oh man, this person, these 3 people or whatever that ask for information and whatever, but they're not willing to take a chance. You're freaking losers. You know, they complain about their life, but then they don't want to make a change. It's so stupid. Like, why would you give your life? Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's like, you guys are idiots, whatever. It's like, really? Like, does that work for you? Does that help you get sales? You know, because honestly, like that right there is probably a big reason, a big part of probably a big. I'm trying to think of how to word it. I would say it's a very large part of why I haven't joined her yet, because not just the cost of it, but it's how she talks about people that haven't joined her yet. You know, like how stupid they are, and you know that why would you keep doing things this way? And you need to make your life better. You know, like shouldn't play it safe, just go all in. It's like, yeah, but a lot of us have already been down that road quite a few times, and some of us, yeah, we're a little bit more cautious now. We might not pay $500 or $600 or $900 right off the bat in hopes that it'll work out, unless we get to a point where everything's paid, we have money for food, and we have that money to spare. Then we might do it, because we know that if it doesn't work, we still have the other things covered. We don't have to worry about that we're going to lose our place to live, or our electric, or our car, or whatever. We're still okay. And that's one of the things that Ricco made a good point at, is that that's why a lot of opportunities for investments. They say never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. So if it's like you have $500, but you need that $500 to pay your car payment, otherwise you're gonna get repossessed. Do not, and you know, this is me kind of giving you guys financial advice that I've heard. Like, if you have money that's meant for something else, like your bills, like your food, whatever, do not invest that money into something on the off chance, or on the possibility that it might work, because there's a possibility that it won't work, and then you're just out that money, and then whatever you were going to use that for, be it get some groceries for the van, be it pay for your car, be it pay for your house payment or your rent, all of a sudden you're short, and then you're just going to end up digging yourself into a hole because of the fact that you used money that was meant for something else to invest in something, because somebody like this chick that I talked to got on you and told you, like, oh, well, if you have that money, like, you should invest it, because you gotta change your life. You gotta be willing to go all in and do whatever you gotta do. It's like, yeah, but we gotta live too. Like, yeah, could it, if there's a guarantee that it would work, then I'd say, all right, maybe take the chance, because you're gonna invest it and it's gonna work. But there's no guarantees in anything, especially in investments. So don't do it if, you know, you don't think you can afford to lose that money. Like, if you're at 500 and losing that 500 will make things really, really complicated for you, then don't do it. You know what I've said all the time, guys, since I started this show. I'm not gonna bullshit you. I'm not gonna lie to you. But basically, it's real talk. I'm gonna keep it straight up with you. So, on that note, as always, for any other things aside from the Legacy Builder program, I do a couple of different opportunities, little online income opportunities, or a crypto opportunity that's like it's literally an app called Social Good, where you can literally get their crypto that is actually on exchanges, that's it's actually worth money right now. That's, you know, it's like 20 cents, something like that per coin, and you get free coins for downloading the app, and then if you use their app to shop at different stores like Walmart, Shein, Temu, Costco, Sam's Club, or actually I think Sam's Club, not Costco, but there's a bunch of stores you can shop at on there, and a lot of them will get like, some of them you get like 1% cash back in their coins based on how much your order was. Some of them you'll get 100% cash back. Some of them you get, I think I had one that was actually, I did a $50 order, and the percentage cash back I got ended up being about $200 worth of their coin. So I think I've got like $2,500 worth of their coins right now. But I got the link on the show notes. But you can also go to blogdashow.com/crypto, I believe, to check it out. Download the app, you'll get free coins, all that fun stuff. But yeah, I'll have any other opportunities that, you know, I'm throwing you guys' way. The links will be on the show notes for the episodes. Or if you go to blogdashow.com and you click the promotions tab, you'll see them on there too. So, to continue throwing it out there, you guys can find me on from the different socials. You can find me on TikTok and Instagram, I believe, Teen Trucker Chris. I believe that's the same handle for Facebook, Teen Trucker Chris. On Twitter X, I believe I'm CEAZ Freedom, and YouTube at Christopher Blodgett. So in closing, guys, I hope you guys found some value in this week's topic. It just seemed like something important to talk about, because it's one thing to have. It's okay to have an opinion. If people aren't doing what you think they should do, like you're telling them, hey, this you should invest, you should do this, whatever, because it's gonna change your life. And they're like, I don't know, because I can't really afford to invest that right now, because I need it for rent, and I need it to pay the bills, keep electric on, keep food on the table. Those are totally valid reasons to be hesitant to dump a large amount of money into something. There's nothing wrong with hesitating. Especially with her, how it's like she talks crap about people as if we have all never done anything. Like all we're doing is working our job, and I'm kind of explaining to her, like, I'm not just working my job. I've got books in the works. I've got my podcast. Got a few other little passive things I'm doing online or whatever. It's like things that eventually I know that I will retire myself, and it won't be through doing what she does and going online and talking crap about people that aren't joining me. It's like, if you don't want to join me, fine, don't join me. I'm not gonna complain publicly about it. But she the way she complains so much about stuff, it's like you kind of come across like you're not a very nice person. And I think there's a lot of people that might be hesitant to actually give your business a try, when you come across that if we don't do it, then we're stupid, we're dumb, we're like, why won't you just make the hard decision and just invest the money that you have set aside for other stuff, put that into this, and make it happen? It's like, yeah, but what if we do and it doesn't happen? Then we're screwed, because we put money in there that we needed for something else. So again, if you have money to invest and you're not gonna become homeless or go hungry or lose a car or something because of losing that money, then by all means, if you have money that you're willing to invest, it's not gonna hurt you to lose it, go for it. But if it's something that if you lose that money is going to put you in a really tight spot, then definitely hold on to it and just wait. Maybe put money aside, like a little bit here, $100 here, $100 there, like plan for it and do what you got to do, so that way when you invest, even if you lose it, yeah, it's still going to suck, it still hurts. But even with that money being gone, you'll be like, but rent's paid, we have money for food, and we're the cars are paid, like, we're good. I just wish that I didn't lose that $500. Oh man. And then so yeah, it would suck. You'd be a little disappointed, maybe depressed, because man, I just lost $500. But everything's covered, so like you're not. It's not gonna put you at risk for other stuff. But she thinks that you should just go all in. Be willing to take that risk, make that sacrifice. It's like, yeah, well, I kind of wonder what her situation was when she did it, because yeah, she said she put bill money in there, but I'm like, but she's a single mom with 3 kids, and I guess it sounds like the dad has never been in the picture, and it makes me wonder if because my brother Ricco, he told me about I guess there's people that have tried to get him to join stuff, and they'd be like, I went all in, blah blah blah. But then Ricco found out that these guys that were trying to pitch him, saying that they put their bill money in there, blah blah blah. But then they have Section 8 housing or whatever, so their rent is like $100. And so they don't have any bills because they're basically getting all this help or whatever. And it's like, yeah, well, obviously, you have the money to spare, because you don't have that much for bills, or you don't have anything for bills, or you live with your parents or whatever. So you do have extra money to work with. But those of us that are actually paying rent, we're paying electric, we're paying for food, we're paying for car payments, paying debts down or whatever. It's like we literally have a lot of that's why would she tell me like I'm playing it safe? I'm like, I feel I'm being responsible by trying to keep in mind that I can't just dump a lot of money into something without knowing that I'm good everywhere else too. You know, like I don't want to fight with the wife. I don't want to put us in this spot where she and I have to go to her mom or my parents and beg for help. I would rather, okay, I'm just gonna wait on that, and when I have a little bit extra money, I'll go ahead and do it, and I'll give it a try. But until that point, I'm not like I try to stop and think about stuff. Like, you know, if it's, and I've invested in small things where it's like you watch these videos you come across online. The video might be like 45 minutes long, and then it's about an opportunity, and they're saying you can do this, you can make this much money or whatever. But then you get to the end, and it's like for only 2 payments of $4.95. Oh shit! Okay, so 2 payments of $500. So it's like, yeah, okay. Then I'll bookmark it, but then I'll exit out because I'm like, obviously that's on the. I'll put a pin in that and check on it later because $1,000. Like, yeah, don't know about that one. But then you watch other things in order to get access to like $49. And like, okay, you know. So then sometimes I'll be like, all right, that's not that bad. I'll go ahead and do it. I'll give it a shot and see if it's really. I did one, I think, about 2 months back. I watched this video on. The problem is a lot of these opportunities you see online though. We see videos on Instagram or whatever. It's like I'll watch them, and it like there's one video that talked about like do this 5-minute phone trick to make thousands per month. Like all it takes is 5 minutes on your phone every morning. As long as you do this, you're gonna make like thousands of dollars per month. All right, you know. So I was curious. So I was like, I got to the end of the video, and it's like one-time payment of $49, or actually it was like $67. I was like, well, a little high, but still not terrible. So I was like, all right, you know. So I paid the $67, got access or whatever. To then immediately realized that there's another 10 videos I'm gonna have to watch, like training videos, and I realized that it wasn't just a 5-minute phone trick to do. It was. I saw pretty quick. It was basically you're learning how to go on Instagram to do videos to get views and start making money through Instagram, basically through your reels or whatever. And I was like, oh crap, that's not. So basically, it's like that's not what I was thinking it was. So immediately I emailed support and said, yeah, I'd like a refund. I'd like to cancel my account. I got refunded within 24 hours. And they asked me through the email, they're like, hey, so tell us, like, what was the reason why you wanted to cancel your account and get a refund? I said, because I feel the advertisement was misleading because they made it sound like it was just a 5-second or like a 5-minute thing on your phone, like an app. Like they talked about it kind of like it was an app. Like you just use this app, and for 5 minutes, you'll make thousands. You know, money just starts flowing in. And I was like, all right, I'll give it a shot. I'll be like, oh yeah, we teach you how to actually like do posts on Instagram every single day. And then make thousands per week or per month or whatever. And it's like, then you get to that, you know, it's like, oh crap, that was definitely not what I was thinking it was. So I wish a lot more advertisements actually were upfront with exactly what they're promoting versus like you get to the end of the video and then you pay to get access and you get in there, you get into your account only to find out that it's like something completely different. You gotta do some steps that you didn't anticipate you're gonna have to do because of how easy they made it sound in the video. Which. So it's like I'm one of those that'll invest little amounts into little things because I'm always on the lookout for stuff, especially if I can find like passive stuff that I actually will do to start bringing in money on the side that I'm not having to like build a team or recruit anybody or really actively promote it or whatever. But asking me to dump like 600 into something, I'm a little bit slower on the. A little bit slower to act. I stop and think about it for a little bit. Like, can I afford to put 600 into this only to find out that I can't actually pull it off the way she did? lot of times they're like, yeah, I can't, can't do it right now. And like I said, there have been some of the times when she's messaged me like, do you have such and such amount, like $395 or $495 or $450? I can work with you. If you pay, like, I'll give you a discount, whatever. Let's make it happen. And I'm like, I technically at some of those times I did have the money to do it, but I was like, yeah, I don't just yet. She's like, oh, okay, well, we gotta make something happen. Because I don't want you to have to keep working your job and killing yourself out there on the road. And I think about it like, yeah, but, and I haven't said it to her, but like, yeah, but I am kind of uncertain and uneasy about the way that she talks about people on her Facebook profile because of the fact that they haven't joined her yet. It's like, yeah, but you talk a lot of crap about people and call them losers and they're dumb and they're stupid, blah blah blah. Because they haven't done what you want them to do. So it's like that kind of doesn't sit well with me. Because if I'm gonna work with you, I don't want to work with somebody that I feel like they don't respect me because they think that they're better than me. So anyway, guys, on that note, I hope this episode, hopefully you guys found value in it. Tried to keep it real with the guys. Thought it seemed like an important topic to discuss this week. But you know what I always say, guys? Keep pushing forward. Keep believing. Believe you can. Believe you will. And you're already halfway there. And then you just have to go out there and do it. But again, guys, in trying to give you guys good advice, as they always say, never invest money that you cannot afford to lose. If it's gonna hurt you in the long run, if you don't get that money back, then hold off. Maybe make a plan. Maybe put money aside. Like for instance, if anybody that wants to give my Legacy Builder program a shot, wait until you have that money to spare. That's not gonna make you run late on bills or lose your car or lose your house or whatever. Just plan it out. But on that note, I hope everybody has a great rest of your week. I appreciate you guys. And as always, I will talk to you guys on the next episode. Have a good one.